translations. We have two types. We have the vertical translations and horizontal. So when you have vertical translations, the movement of your graph, it's going down or going up. Horizontal, is it going to the right or going to the left? So that's the movement. Again, the word translation is just movement of the graph. Another word that you can use here is shift. So that's shifted to the right, shifted to the left, or shifting to the right, shifting to the left, shifting up, shifting down. So let's have an example. Um, y equals x squared. Remember, y here refers to f of x. So once you graph this, you do xy table. And we know that this is a parabola because we have a power of 2 here. Power of 2 means a parabola. So, and it's a positive, so it means it's opening upward. So just look at the sign here. The sign here is positive. So that means it's opening upward. If that is a negative, it's opening downward. So let's assign value for your x here. X could be a 0 here. When you plug in, that would be a 0. You have a 1, you plug in, that's a 1. If you plug in a negative 1, you'll get a positive 1 still because there's a power of 2. And then here's the graph. This is my y, that's my x there. And I have to plot the points. So plotting the points, I will have the 0, 0 first. So that's at the point of origin. And then I'm looking at 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2 here. And my 1, 2, 3. So the second ordered pair is 1, 1. So we're looking at this point here. 1, 1. The next one is negative 1, 1. So that should be somewhere here. And then we connect this with a smooth curve, then we will have the parabola. So the parabola is opening upward because it's positive. Again, if that is negative, it's opening downward. So that's the first example. And the second example is, so there's no translation here because we are at the point of origin. So we can call this as our parent parabola. So we can see the movement of the parabola. So it's a parent curve. So we will have an example that is translated up 1 unit. So the whole parabola here, x squared, will be moved 1 unit because of the plus 1 here. So we do the xy table again. Okay, so if our x is 0, then that would be a 1 for y. If we have a positive 1 for our x, that would be a 2. If you have a negative 1, and you plug that into the equation, negative 1 times a negative 1 is a positive 1 plus 1, that is still a 2. So plotting these ordered pairs, the first one is 0, 1. So 0, 1 is over here. The next one is 1, 2. 1 going to the right and 2 up somewhere here. -1, that's going to the left 1 unit and move up 2 units. So that should be somewhere here. And then we connect this with a smooth curve and we'll have the second parabola. So this is the translation now. Again, we have the 1 here, which is our uh, vertical translation, because it's moving up 1 unit. If this one is, let's say, -1, you're going to go down 1 unit. Okay, so that's how the parabola is being moved. So it's shifted up 1 unit in this second example. So let's have another example. Let's say you have y is equal to x minus 2 here, power of 2. So let's create our xy table. We need minimum of 3 points to create a graph. So we can start with a value of 0. And that would be plugging that in, it gives you a +4. And then we can plug in a +2. When you plug in a +2, you have 2 minus 2, that's a 0. So you'll get a 0 here. And then if you plug in, let's say 4, when you plug in 4, that's 4 minus 2. And that's 2. Then raise to the power of 2, and you'll get 4. So let's graph it. Okay. Now remember what we're saying about the sign. The sign here is positive, so it means this is opening upward. Again, if it is negative, it's opening downward for the parabola. Okay, so let's plot the ordered pairs. So the first one is at 0, 4. So 0, 4, for y, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 here. For x, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 there. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so the first ordered pair is at 0, 4. 0 for x, y is 4. So it's right here. And the second point is at 2, 0. 0 for your y, 2 for your x, 4 for your x. For the third one, again 4, comma 4. So 4, and you go a 4 unit, so that should be somewhere here. And then we just draw the curve. So it's a parabola that's actually opening upward. Okay. So now we have to analyze where's the parabola is going. So it's been translated to the right. So the parabola actually is moving from the point of origin going to the right 2 units. So the translation would be it's at this point. The -2 here is the opposite. It's going to the right, not to the left. So from the rule, it says you have to set this expression equal to 0 and then solve for your x. That's how you find out that is a +2 movement. So it's going to be shifted 2 units to the right. Okay, shifted 2 units to the right. If you have a negative here, you're moving 2 units to the left. So the word shift, move, translate is just the same in this presentation. So we're just shifting the whole graph from the point of origin 2 units to the right. Okay? Let's try another example. Okay. So let's create the XY table and then plug in a value. So let's have 0 here. So if that is 0, let's just calculate that at the bottom. 0 plus 2 power 2 plus 1. So calculating that, you have a -4 there on that expression, plus 1, that's a -3. So that should be a -3 here. And then if you have a value of a -2, then that would be -2 plus 2 power 2 plus 1. Then you can see that that would be a 0. Then a 0 power of 2 is a 0. You have a negative, still a 0. So plus 1, that's a 1. So 1 goes here. And then we can have the next value, which is -4. So if that is -4, let's say -4 here, plus 2 power 2 plus 1 equals. So when you see -4 plus 2, it's a -2. -2 times -2 is a +4, and you'll get a -4 here. So -4 plus 1 is -3. So that should be -3 here. Okay, and then we'll plot those points. So this is your y here, and this is your x. And x has 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4 here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. Okay, going down. So let's plot the points here. So let's start with 0, -3. Okay, so 0, -3, 0 for x, then you have a -3, so that should be here for the point. That's 0, comma -3. Second ordered pair is -2, then 1, um, -2, 1. So let's put that 1 is here, and -2 is here. So that should be 1 up. negative 2, 1 for y, that should be here. Okay, and the third point would be negative 4, comma negative 3. So that's the third ordered pair. So negative 4 for x, negative 3 for your y, so that should be somewhere here. And then you have a negative, so the parabola should be opening downward if that is a negative. If it is a positive, it's opening upward. So in this case, this is opening downward. So we can connect the 3 points, and that would be your graph. And observe what happens to your parabola. It's actually shifted to the left 2 units. I'll mark this one. This is the horizontal translation. And the vertical translation is this one, the +1. So what we're doing from the rule on this section, it says just get the expression x plus 2 equal that to 0. You'll get x is equal to negative 2. The negative sign means you're moving to the left 2 units. So that's what it means for the negative sign. And that's shifting 2 units to the left and then move up or shifting up 1 unit. So that's why we get the positive 1 there. So that's the vertical translation. Okay. So you can see the movement now and the sign. So that's translation. Again, translation can be the word shift. Translation means move. Could be actually the word translate also. So it says translating up, translating down, moving up, moving down, shifting left, shifting to the right. Okay, so that's translations.